there for Mitch and Mully and Timmy and Rod.
Incredible.
All those guys.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when the group got together for Mully's jersey retirement, and Hardaway, you know Hardaway, he's talking smack.
Oh, yeah.
Remember he was saying,
come on,
you guys could take the Splash Brothers.
Oh, man.
And that was a few years ago.
Oh, yeah, it was.
How do you feel about it now?
Well, excuse me. Hey, listen, always let Tim do the talking. I tell you what, but he backed us in the corner, I tell you. I like watching the guys play. You know, it's only barbershop talk, and I won't bring it to the television. But no, they're great players to watch, and maybe about 5 years ago when we were talking about that we could kick their butt, but I don't know about now.
They may join you in the Hall of Fame one day. You know, coming up in late July 26th, Oracle Arena is going to host Team USA. They're going to play an exhibition game against a team from the Asia zone. You were on the 1996 Olympic team. So what are the guys looking at this summer? I think Steph, if he's healthy, is going to make it. Clay's going to make it. Draymond Green's going to make it. Who knows? Andre Iguodala is going to make it. How taxing is that in the summertime? Come back and play next year if they play all the way till the first day of summer or so. And just give me your thoughts on your experience as being a U.S. Olympian, Mitch.
Well, I'm a little different because I didn't go this far. Until I got to the Lakers, but early on in my career, yeah, it is taxing, but I think it's a great accomplishment to even be on the USA team and be honored to play on that team. I think the guys realize that, you know, it's 12 or 13 guys coming together. You know, it's not really going to be grueling on your body. I think Colangelo and Coach K has really done a great job at really trying to preserve the guys, really try to make sure they get a lot of massages and, you know, all the executive workouts, so they don't really try to overdo on their body. And they have 12 or 13 guys where they can come together and they can play as one. And they don't have to play 40 minutes or get 40 points. They just share the ball and play well.
And Jim Boeheim. Don't forget Jim Boeheim.
Oh, Jim Boeheim.
I heard a rumor you guys beat Syracuse this year. Is that right?
And let's don't talk about that.
You know his alma mater?
Syracuse. Well,
Right
Boeheim
there.
didn't coach that game.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. How do you like coaching, by the way? How was it with Mully this year?
I like it. You know, it's an opportunity. I've never knew I thought I'd be in this. And, you know, Saint used to say some tough cuss words that I had to get to know.
Yeah.
Now I know why he says them. I'm seeing myself using some of those words too, but I don't want to go there.
Pop, I'm watching practice, and I'm watching him teach Purvis Ellison's son some footwork in the paint, and it just took me back. It was just beautiful to watch. I think he's doing a tremendous job with Mully, and it's just great to watch.
Never nervous Purvis. He was
We're getting better. We're going to be better.
Of course you are.
No question.
Tell Mully we say hi.
I will.
Good to see you, Rock.
Thanks for having me.
The great Mitch Richmond, only a Warrior for 3 years, but he's going into the Bay Area Sports Hall of Fame coming up on May the 16th. Look at Draymond's effort running down that ball and stealing it.
That was great.
The Warrior defense in the third quarter was incredible. The whole second half, and you know Draymond Green's going to do it again. He was just ferocious in the second half on Sunday, would not allow the Warriors to lose. What does he have for the Houston Rockets tonight as they try to eliminate the Rockets for the second straight year? Welcome back to Warriors Pregame Live, presented by Metro PCS. Congratulations to Steve Kerr. He wins this year's Red Auerbach Trophy. The NBA Coach of the Year. He got 64 first-place votes. He bested Terry Stotts and Greg Popovich's guy. Luke Walton also showed up. He got 5 third-place votes for a total of 5 points. Luke was there yesterday, along with Bob Myers and Steve Kerr, obviously, for the trophy presentation at the Oakland Convention Center. And the head coach got very emotional looking back on an incredible year in his life.
It's the hardest year of my life. Not even close. And incredibly lucky to have this amazing family and all these beautiful people around me. And Bob went from being my general manager, the guy I worked with, to the guy I leaned on every day when I was really struggling with my pain. And I have gotten better. But when I was really struggling, Bob called me every single day and offered his support. And if I didn't have Bob, and if I didn't have Margot and my kids, and and I didn't have my team to come back and coach, boy, it was rough. It was really rough. And so the friendship that Bob has given me and the support goes way beyond basketball, and it will last a lifetime. And incredibly thankful, Bob, to you for everything you've offered me and for your friendship.
Yeah, Steve got emotional talking about Bob Myers, and Bob got equally emotional talking about Steve and what he had to endure this year. Saintly, you know, you were a coach, you were a GM. The relationship that they have, the head coach and the general manager, is as good as I've ever seen in professional sports. It really is.
I was chatting with Bob before the game and just complimented him, and I shared with him that you can feel it around the whole basketball organization. Everybody knows about this relationship, and there's real genuine caring for each other as people and as players. And you don't, trust me, you don't have that very often in the NBA. There's a few franchises that I know that do, but very, very few, because the GM is planning for the future. He's saying, you know, you got to play those young guys. Then the coach is saying, you got to get me some better players. You got to do this and this and this. So a lot of times you're hitting heads. And this relationship, boy, Kalena, it's beautiful to see.
It's wonderful. Everybody in this organization is so selfless.
They really are.
No one cares who wins the award. So this is an award the whole organization can really celebrate. Obviously, Steve Kerr is so deserving. 73 wins, all the records his team has broken this season. He's such a great coach. He's a great communicator. He gets the most out of his players. You saw him up there. He gave the credit to his players. He gave the credit to Luke Walton and his coaching staff, to Bob Myers. It's beautiful to see.
I go back to Bob Myers' line. It's a John Wooden line last year when they won the NBA title. It's amazing what you can accomplish when no one cares who gets the credit. Yeah, and that's really where they are right now, and they just get along so well. That's why their players play so well. There's no fractions in the team or groups or cliques or anything. Here's the starting lineup for the Warriors, brought to you by Honda. Sean Livingston again for Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Harrison Barnes, Draymond Green, and Andrew Bogut. This was the same fivesome that started the second half of Game 4. Remember, we were tied at 56 after one half of basketball, and then the Warriors took them apart. The Warriors scored 41 points in the third quarter. The Houston Rockets scored 38 points in the entire second half. The Warriors got a little leaky, Saintly. One in the first quarter, gave up 29, 27 in the second quarter, but in the third, just 20, fourth, 18. Break down the Warriors' sledgehammer defense with the Saint Strader.
Well, I was excited for this second half D, and I want you to keep an eye on Big Bogues here, because he's going to go to work on Mr. Howard. And watch up top here. He moves a little pressure up. That really distracts a big guy when you do that. There's probably going to be a little dribble action here, but watch the hands. See, that's a big shouldn't be handling the ball up there. So that's just a great play by Big Bogues, looking for weaknesses in the opponent. Now, watch this. You got a high pick and roll situation. You've got Klay on him with Draymond right there ready to help. See, the pick is pretty darn good, and Klay fights over the top to take away the three look, but Draymond's right there ready to help and contest. That's what you've got to do against a great player. It isn't a one-on-one. It's all helping out. Now, let's check out a block out that we've got here. We're going to have a situation down the other end after this play where we see a post, looks like a post look. And you've got great pressure on Harden. You stay with that till he picks up the ball. But watch now the box out on the weak side of the floor. You see Draymond come over quickly to take away the driving lane, and then you've got a situation where there's a traffic rebound and a box out by Festus. That's what you really have got to do to play against a great player. It's team defense. And I am a believer that if they get in this open floor, that Houston will not get back and match up well, and you're going to get more great looks.
Kenny Maurer, Brian Forte, longtime NBA official Joe Forte's son, Ed Malloy, will be the crew. Let's see if Andrew Bogut, Kalena, can stay out of foul trouble. He was in persistent foul trouble the whole weekend. What are you looking for tonight, Kalena?
Defense, like you just talked about. Bogut's got to do his work early. We talked about J.B. Bickerstaff wanting to maybe get the ball into the post a little more. So Bogut's got to do his work early. And if you're a guard on the Warriors, you got to move your feet and try to keep the Rockets guards out of the paint, because when they get in the paint, that's when they get the lobs and all those things to Howard.
Saintly, what's your key?
Well, I'm right on with Glenn, and I'm going to point out two guys. The two big vets that, in my mind, are Sean Livingston and Andre Iguodala. If they play anywhere near like they've been playing the last few games, there's going to be a W here at Oracle.
All right, enjoy it. Clay's got James Harden. Draymond Green's got everybody else. Good luck, Warriors, trying to close them out.
Fortune is a fickle thing. 1 minute you're making a steal on a driving layup. And a moment later, fate leaves you fearing for your playoff life. Golden State now faces its most immense challenge of what's been an historic season. But if there's one trait that exemplifies this team, it's resilience. The belief they can overcome any obstacles placed in their path. In Game 4, the Warriors displayed the courage to forge ahead without the MVP. And the tenacity to break their opponent's will. Tonight, the series shifts back to Oracle, where the home team is determined to earn the right to move on. Game 5, and a closeout opportunity is right now. Sold-out Oracle is unmistakable. Game 5 of the Warriors-Rockets and an opportunity to end this series. Move on to the second round, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. But Houston, they have a super score that Warrior fans know has to be stopped. And despite the fun vibe, the MVP is not in the building. And so James Harden presents a huge problem, looking to extend Houston's series, while the Warriors have a splash brother determined to seal the deal tonight. Hello, everybody. Bob Fitzgerald alongside Jim Barnett. And 3-1, a chance to close out, to not go back to Houston. A mature team wants to end series quickly.
Anytime you can close out a series, particularly at home, you want to do it. Now is the time to do it. Nobody wants to travel to Houston again.
They want to build on the momentum of the second half of Game 4. Steph Curry injured. They come out and play their best basketball after halftime. And really, it was the other All-Stars that were amazing. You had Klay Thompson and Draymond Green take over the game.
Well, it was inspiring at both ends of the floor. It starts with the defense, and then all of a sudden, they got into the open court. They got early offense. They got all the shots they wanted. Very rarely were they contested shots, and they're dropping threes just like it was the end of the game. They were having a ball. It was like a scrimmage.
When Curry was injured, Draymond Green told him, I got you. We'll take care of this. The emotional leader did not let the captain down.
I'll tell you, when he hits threes like that, they are not going to lose basketball games. What a quarter they had in the fourth one.
Offensive and defensive, the record for threes. They blew it open, and that was the impetus to the 3-1 lead in the series.
Well, the bench has been instrumental in this series. The bench is averaging 45 points a night. And, you know, strength in numbers, it may stop with the players, but it doesn't start with the players. It starts with the NBA Coach of the Year, Steve Kerr. His imprint, his foundation he has built here, it's all over each and every player. He empowers these players, and that's why guys at the end of the bench are having a great series right now.
Up and down the roster, you need the contributions with Curry out. But this is a defensive team. Don't forget that. That's how they won the title a year ago. And so the Warriors can still lock down a second spectrum look at the defense in the second half. It's where they limited Houston. Very impressive all over the court.
Well, and in the series, 40% shooting from Houston, 29 from three-point range. They take them off the three-point line, but they defend the twos, and they're pretty good in the lane as well.
It's normally 60 or 70% in there. It was less than 50.
And I do think with Dwight Howard shooting less than 9 times a night, they could exploit that a little bit and give him some lobs with a little dribble penetration and throw the lobs to him. He needs to get more shots. He's shooting over 60%. He just didn't get the ball that much.
So you don't have Steph Curry for a couple weeks, but you have the best backup point guard in the NBA. Sean Livingston at 6'7" can run a team. Assist to turnover at 4-1. The mid-range game. And you know he will let the Warriors get out in the open court. The man they call S-Dot is ready to put an exclamation dot on this series. Can the Warriors close out the Rockets? Greg and the guys back at Oracle after this.
Klay Thompson is averaging 22.5 points per game the first 4 games of this series, but he's not shot the ball all that well. 4 for 14 in game 1, 8 for 20 in the second game. That's the game he made 15 free throws. 7 for 20 in game 3 and 8 for 15 in game 4. Let's look at it second spectrum. He's shooting 38% behind the line thanks to a 7 for 11 3-point shooting game on Sunday. He's dribble driving it exceedingly well in finishing. The mid-range could be better, and when you add it up, he's at 39% from the floor. Welcome, Greg Papa, Gary St. Jean, Kalena Azubuike. Obviously, without Steph Curry, J.B. Bickerstaff's defense is going after Klay Thompson, led by Trevor Ariza.
Well, watch tonight if Ariza takes him by himself. Kalena and I think that's going to happen. If that be the case, they're going to try to run him off screens, and then he's going to see a lot of shot contestment, look for him to drive the ball. Conversely, if they're in their switching game and Ariza's not on him, then Klay is just going to abuse guys. So watch the matchups.
I always talk about him moving without the ball, but also when he gets stuff going to the basket, he plays really well. Remember game 2, which was his best game, a lot of his shots were 2, so he didn't have to hit a bunch of threes to play well. If he keeps moving without the ball, even Trevor Ariza is vulnerable there.
All right, it was exactly 11 months ago, May the 27th, the Warriors eliminated the Rockets. They'll try to do it a month earlier this year and put them out of their misery.
It's time for tip-off. Here's Fitz and JB.
All right, that is the Red Auerbach winner for Coach of the Year, Steve Kerr, welcoming us into Game 5. And moments ago, Steve got the hardware at center court. Bob Myers and Luke Walton. And the 73 wins. And the biggest Warrior fan, the boss, enjoying that moment. And now it's Steve back to basketball and get ready for Game 5 against the Rockets. Warriors with a 3-1 series lead. They will play the next couple weeks without the MVP. Steph still came over and stretched with Draymond Green. He didn't want to get out of routine and keeping everything the same. And you see all the different superstitious things that players do before games. They are creatures of habit and routine. Dwight Howard on the inside will be a major problem for the Warriors if the Rockets continue to utilize him. He's had a double-double in every game. Our Xfinity starting lineup: Sean Livingston, Klay Thompson, Harrison Barnes, with Draymond Green and Andrew Bogut. For the Rockets, Patrick Beverley, James Harden, Trevor Ariza, Donatas Motiejunas with Dwight Howard. And a Houston team that stole Game 3, had Game 4 tied at halftime, and then the Warriors, outstanding offensively and defensively, won it in a runaway. Second year in a row these teams have met in the postseason. A year ago it went 5 games. The Warriors would like that this season to go exactly the same number.
Well, they control their destiny. When they're playing at home here, we know how dominant they've been. And they've got to start the game like that. They've got to let Houston know that there's no return trip for them to Houston this year. Set the tone early.
They tried to get it to Howard. He's got it now. A lefty flip doesn't go, and Draymond the rebound.
I believe they've got to go to Howard more often inside.
Well, you talked about the beginning of the game, Jim. What do you want to see here? What's ideal start for the Warriors?
Don't settle for three-point shots. Move the ball. But above all, take care of the basketball as Klay Thompson knocks down a 3. You take your open shots. No turnovers and tenacious defense. Don't give them easy looks.
Klay Thompson opening the scoring with a triple. Rockets have begun posting up Motiejunas at the beginning of games.
Nice to see Beverley on the court again. He had to leave last game.
Howard, little push shot doesn't go.
They'd like Howard to take a lot of shots. He's taking 8.5 field goal attempts per game.
The Rockets feel like with Howard shooting 66%, they could go to him more often.
They should. But the Warriors will take that chance, too.
Draymond with the 3.
The Draymond drain forces a timeout.
J.B. Bickerstaff says, I just saw this in Houston in the second half. I'm going to stop it because I don't want to see any more of it. With Steph Curry out, don't forget the Warriors have 2 other All-Stars. Klay Thompson rings the register for 1. And Draymond Green, who was actually shooting better than Klay from three-point land in this series, hits his 3. And you know who the biggest supporter is going to be on the bench.
You saw Harden in that picture of the 3. Houston has to play better defense. I mean, the Warriors are shooting 47% in the series at 40% from three-point range. They're plus 15.2 points per game. But it only takes one player to break down your defense. And Harden, at times, just not seem to be rotating over, doesn't seem to be interested. He played that very softly inside the line, inside the three-point line.
You hear coaches always say the teams need to be connected on defense. And all 5 moving together and aware where the ball is and who's dangerous. And so, yeah, one breakdown, and you're going to leave open shooters.
Let's keep an eye on that.
2-man game, Harden and Motiejunas. And Draymond, quick hands.
What a recovery by Draymond. He stops Harden and gives time for Klay to recover, and then he intercepts it.
Tic-tac-toe! And Livingston sending it home.
That started with the defense.
And Harden bearing a 3.
Well, he's going to get his. But his percentage this series is not good at all at 38%.
He's averaging 25, but you're right, Jim. The amount of shots he's had to take to get to that number. And don't reach and put him on the foul line. It's been a constant message from the Warrior coaching staff.
Yeah, so you're going to have to give him one of those once in a while from the perimeter.
Draymond a deeper 3 and rimming it out.
See, now that you hit a couple, now's the time to move the ball, make some back cuts, hard cuts, and get some layups.
Harden finding Beverly, feet set, and missing that 3. Harden shoved Draymond to get that rebound. A little physical early.
Took a double bounce, too.
Bogut battling, Howard coming up with it, and he's fouled. So the Rockets work at the offensive glass.
Let's look at this. Harden goes around, and Draymond stops the penetration. He allows Klay to recover, and then he still recovers back on Motiejunas, and it led to this little tic-tac-toe volleyball play and a finish by Livingston, who's shooting 53% in the series, 12.5 per games for Livingston, 26 minutes a night.
Howard, 35% free throwing in the 4 games, making the first there. It was probably a good timeout by J.B. Bickerstaff because this building was about to levitate.
Oh, it's as loud as I've ever heard it.
So Howard hitting both free throws. He has exhorted his team to get into the postseason, and he would like to extend this series. Klay hiding behind Draymond, and he gets a shoulder from Motiejunas. Now Ariza's called off the ball for trying to get around that screen. So non-shooter. Ariza doggedly pursuing Klay Thompson.
He's a big-time defender.
Livingston over Howard.
That's the way to exploit the double team. They're going to double Klay just like they do Steph Curry. Move the ball quickly.
Harden having it deflected. Motiejunas will track it down and have an open 3. Draymond just keep it away from Dwight Howard.
The Rockets are crashing the offensive glass tonight.
That's their adjustment early. You see every red body going after misses. Harrison Barnes a little flat. And Klay Thompson an excuse me foul.
Klay Thompson, first personal, second team foul.
2-on-1, it's as simple as that. You think about the lob, but you have a chance to take the shot, and he just floats it gently over a tall Dwight Howard.
Harden missing there, Howard soaring in.
Well,
better passing by Houston, and Harden hitting another 3.
Second chance point. Andrew Bogut has to get a body on Howard. Now, that's not really fair to say all the time because he's looking to give help at times and so loses contact with him. But right now, he's got to stay in contact a little more often with Dwight Howard to keep him off the glass.
The Warriors have started well, but the Rockets are engaged. Klay Thompson hitting the three.
If you don't switch, Ariza can't guard everybody there. He's looking for help on Klay. No one was there.
Ariza missing there, and there's Harden on the offensive glass. So the Warriors have opened 5 of 7, but only a 3-point lead as the Rockets 7 second-chance points.
That's the difference for him. What a back door play.
Drop it off to Bogut, and he'll flip it up and in.
See, Houston's very aggressive, so that's, you make them pay the price for that. You take their strength, turn it into a weakness. That's what exactly they did on that play.
Rockets led the league in steals. They will gamble, they will pressure you. Howard's got deep position here, but that lefty throw was a little strong. Harrison Barnes sheds Ariza. Nice mid-range.
We got to a position where he knew nothing good was going to happen. So you look to pass or you look to shoot. And he found some space.
Hey, the Warriors are sharp offensively.
Yes, they are.
To begin the game. The wizardry of Harden and then the mid-range.
I'll tell you, you can't do anything about that. Draymond didn't go with any of those fakes, stayed right with it. You've got to give him a little bit of space right there. He goes around you. That's better offense.
Livingston is fouled on that jumper. Well, Harden has 10 of Houston's 12. Yet the Warriors have opened 7 of 9. I don't think they could be any more efficient.
It's just the offensive rebounds and the second chance points that have hurt the Warriors, and that's why the score is where it is.
How about 7 assists on 7 made field goals? I mean, the ball is really moving nicely.
In a way, Bob, they're not going to go one-on-one as much with Steph Curry out of the game because he goes one-on-one a lot, as he should. So they're going to have to pass more, and that's what they're doing, getting 38 assists in last game.
Free throw down. Remember tonight's game and all Warrior games on CSN are streamed live via the NBC Sports Live Extra app on your mobile phone or tablet. Now available on Apple TV and Roku.
I mean, Curry gets 30 a night, and a lot of those are just self-made, you know, going one-on-one. And Livingston's not going to do that so often. He's going to move the ball, so that's why he's had some looks inside. Without the ball, it comes back to him.
So Klay Thompson 6, Livingston 6. Iguodala checking in as he does at the midway point of each quarter to begin ball games. For Harrison, Josh Smith's first playing time. Smith didn't settle for the 3, got point blank, couldn't make it. Harden has been red hot. And why not?
Yeah, when he gets it going, he can give you 20 and a quarter. Easily.
He's got 12. Livingston over Beverly.
You think he understands what he has to do in the absence of Stephen Curry? He's not afraid of the moment.
Beverly probing the defense. Klay picked his pocket. Klay Thompson the foot race. Klay Thompson to the rim to lay it in.
Great control. Going at full speed with a shorter, faster defender.
Houston takes time again. Harden's got 12, but the Warriors have opened 9 of 11. Klay's got 8. Livingston's got 8. And the Warriors have begun in a continuation of the second half in Game 4.
Welcome back to Oracle Arena. Warriors up 9 on the Rockets. First, Stephen Curry hurts his knee. Then Chris Paul and Blake Griffin go out for the season. Injuries have changed the NBA playoffs, and before practice, Coach Kerr told the team, take nothing for granted. Nothing is promised. You have to take advantage of every opportunity because you just don't know what's going to happen. And Draymond Green was disappointed by the injury news. He said now Chris Paul can't pick his kid up with that hand for a while, or Steph can't run with his girls for some time. He said the injuries go beyond basketball, and it sucks.
There's no question people forget these guys are human beings. And the disappointment for the Clippers, the disappointment for Steph Curry, and yet these teammates want to play through it and honor their fallen comrades by playing their best basketball. You got to give it up for James Harden to begin the game, Jim. He's 6 of 7 and got 14.
Yeah, he's got 14. He got a new defender in Iguodala. Didn't change anything. just took him off the dribble for a nice jump shot.
Livingston finding Bogut, and Harden and Smith flying at him, and Howard grabbing the rebound.
The action is moving very fast, rebounding everything else for Andrew Bogut tonight. Let's see if he can stay in with this kind of activity and athleticism. He's missed some rebounds that he normally gets. Livingston on a hold, and he knew it.
Harden can get you locked up, and is he holding you or you holding him? He's incredibly clever.
Well, he held just long enough to all of a sudden make a cut, and Livingston had to hold him, otherwise he gets a layup. Yeah, he's holding there, but then all of a sudden at the end, he releases, and Livingston can't unhook. That's part of his game.
They're going to force feed Harden as hot as he is right now.
Just total ISO here.
Shot clock at 3. Josh Smith checked it, and Bogut played that nicely. It's a 24-second violation. Great awareness of the clock on the other end. Andrew knew Smith just had to throw it up there. Just making sure Klay Thompson doesn't get the ball. He had to come out beyond the hash mark to receive it. Iguodala can take Terry. He gets around him. Bogut push shot, rims in.
Got the bounce. Iguodala shooting nearly 60% in the series. He's already been terrific from three-point range. He's made 8 of 14. So can he duplicate that kind of performance offensively? He and Iguodala and Livingston have been terrific. They're both averaging over 12 a game.
Well, don't forget, Iguodala, the Finals MVP, played his best basketball when it mattered most last year. ISO for Klay. And a great look to Livingston. They sell out on Thompson to shoot, and he becomes a distributor.
We've seen it a couple times already. They're doubling down on Klay Thompson at every opportunity, and he's making them pay. As well he should.
Howard, you want to foul him there if you can. Draymond played the D and he missed the shot.
Saved the foul. Got away with it. I agree with you. You've got guys in there that have fouls, and they're not going to play 30 minutes fouling.
Klay Thompson, 3. Already a 30-point quarter. We got 3 minutes left in the first on an 11-2 Warrior run.
Their offense could not be any better.
Smith misfiring, big rebound, and bodies everywhere, and it will be a foul.
It's got to be on Howard. Take your pick on either player.
Mandatory timeout. 2:51 remaining in the first, and what a brilliant beginning. You know that Klay Thompson could shoot threes, but all that attention opens up his teammates. Okay, we'll sag off Klay Thompson. Don't forget, that's the second best three-point shooter in the world. Only James Harden has made a shot for the Rockets. The Warriors have been phenomenal in our Lexus pursuit of perfection. You were talking about the elevated play of Andre Iguodala. He loves the postseason. And a year ago, the Finals MVP played defense, played offense, and along with Steph Curry, led the way when it mattered most.
Well, he's carried into this first round without Stephen Curry. He's only played 39 minutes. He came off the bench, game 2, 18 points. 22 last game on 9 of 11 shooting, including 3 of 4 from three-point range. So he and Livingston are combining for nearly 25 a night. Regular season, they combined for 13.
Ian Clark checking in. Michael Beasley checking in. Klay Thompson, heat check. Off front iron, and Terry the rebound in motion. Zealy, Draymond, Iguodala with Klay and Ian Clark. Rockets moving the ball. It was Ian Clark who knocked it away from Harden. It's a 3-on-1 if they hurry. Clark to the rim to lay it up and in.
Well, Andre got smart. He made it a 2-on-1, which is what it should be. 3-on-1 becomes a 2-on-1. You split that one defender, and he did it just early enough.
Ian Clark had a great little knock away from Harden and then finished on the other end. As Zealy rebounding the Harden miss. They've doubled up the Rockets so far. Are we going to get through a quarter where no one not named Harden scores for Houston?
It's very strange, but he found a shot early on and he just keeps going.
Deep position for Ezeli. A little strong off glass. Terry missing.
He can still shoot that three. He's been pretty good in the series.
Harden is 6 of 8. The rest of the Rockets are 0 for 13. That's just getting swiped at a little bit.
He's just got to take control a little bit and harness that energy and just take an extra little breath, a little bit extra time inside.
Beasley can't handle it. Ian Clark is shoved. It'll only be the 14th foul. Talk about Ian Clark improving throughout the regular season. He stepped in when Barbosa was injured. Now he's supplanted Leandro a bit in the rotation.
He's been playing extremely well. I love what he did. 11 points, most of them in the second quarter.
He's shooting 64% for the series.
Well, game 3, he was really good. Unfortunately, didn't turn into a win for the Warriors.
Draymond 3. Remember the third quarter in Houston was 41-20?
Yes.
Well, does this feel anything like it?
Well, it's pretty doggone similar. Hitting threes.
Beasley over everything. The push ahead to Iguodala, but Ariza was ready.
He's too long.
And Harden sent away, but fouled by Ezeli. Had to come through the body to get to the ball. And that's why the foul call.
Harden did a good job protecting with his body. He's clever.
Howard has 2 free throws. No other Rocket has a field goal in the quarter. The Warriors are holding Houston to 27% shooting. Dwight Howard it's 35-17,
yeah.
And that's the bench reaction.
Strange to see all those zeros.
They're going to play Hack and Ezeli here, and we check in with Roz.
A strong start to this game was important to Draymond Green. He said, if you take it at the Rockets early, you set the tone, have a good start, you can take the fight out of their game. And that's what the Warriors are trying to do right now.
You know, it's such a good point, Roz, because, Jim, a mature team realizes you don't want to give this team life. They're on the road. Right. It's an elimination game. You blew them out in the second half. If you turn it over and you're sloppy and you settle for shots, you think, oh, we're up 3-1, we're going to walk into this. All of a sudden, you have Houston engaged and you have a problem.
You have a big problem if you allow them to take this game and then they go down to Houston, their home court, for game 6.
There you go.
That's your danger.
But the Warriors have come out shooting 67% and limiting Houston to 27%. And Ezeli missing both free throws. Harden the distributor, but Beasley didn't catch it, Terry didn't catch it, and that's the 6th turnover.
That's what I like about the Warriors, too. Only 1 turnover tonight.
Mo Spates gets a tremendous response as he checks in.
Why not? He's shooting 55%. He's made 5 threes in the series already.
Okay, so J.B. Bickerstaff, he fouled Ezeli. Now they foul Iguodala. And he's trying to, what you call, junk up the game a little bit. Take the crowd out of it and see if some of the Warrior poor free throw shooters can actually hit a few.
But with Iguodala, I know he had a tough year free throw shooting, 61+%.
He's 3 of 10 in the series.
Don't be surprised if he makes both these. It's time to step up and correct that. Works on it every day.
Get the first one. Well, Andre made those 2 free throws at Oklahoma City.
Yep. No one thought he would.
Game that went to overtime, and Curry won it with a 40-footer.
Did it with no time on the clock.
And I think a man with a mustache just said he'd hit both free throws. If you know the final score, you can tell me.
121 to 93.
Harden was grabbed.
Well, that'll be free throws for Harden. He's just taking the lack of experience from Ian Clark. He just duped him right there.
Tell you what, I'm impressed with Harden's first quarter in terms of a lot has been made about his defense or lack of attention to defense. But this is one of the real sublime scorers in our game. And he has been brilliant in this first quarter. But basketball's not just one individual. Join the season ticket priority wait list and get priority pre-sale access to playoff tickets at 888-GSW-HOOP or Warriors.com.
Well, there's no question he's a great individual talent, but the ball kind of stops with him and people stand around and watch. He does get 8 assists tonight, but that's because he's handling the ball 85% of the time.
Harden has 18 of Houston's 20. No other Rocket has a field goal. About a second game clock, shot clock difference here. Warriors would like to take the last one. Spade's 3 is a little flat. Can he stop Harden at 2? Ahead to Terry, a deep 3, and that will do it. Exactly the quarter the Warriors wanted. 37-20. 7 different Warriors score. One Rocket had 18, and one Rocket had 2. The big lead after the first 12 minutes, trying to close out Houston, and the Warriors brilliant on both ends of the floor. Beginning of the second quarter, Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett, Roz Gold on Wood-A with you. Warriors 14 of 22, 5 made threes. You see the Rockets at 6 of 23, but Harden was 6 of 8. No other Rocket made a field goal. They're 0 for 15.
Well, I'll tell you what, that is swarming defense. And now, with Harden on the bench, you would expect that to change if they're going to stay in the game at all with any kind of hope.
Beverly and Terry with Corey Brewer, Michael Beasley, and Dwight Howard. That's a lob to Iguodala. Did well just to catch it.
They're lucky to have that ball. Barbosa was there.
Harrison Barnes finding Andre. Corner 3 is a little long. Barnes fighting for that rebound, loose on the deck. And Beverly comes away with it. And that lob is missed. Finally, another Rocket with a field goal as Beverly carries on. Houston's got 11 second chance points.
I get the feeling that this group out here with Harden off the floor is a little energized. I think you're going to see a little better ball movement for Houston. Let's see if their defense picks up.
Ian Clark with a nice pick and fade to Mo Spates. Hey, Ian is playing so well.
All series long, Houston just gives up perimeter shots. It seems like they're so intent on protecting the paint area that they give up perimeter looks.
Return pass to Terry is thrown away. You highlighted this early in the series. Howard is not going to go anywhere near Mo Spates on the perimeter.
Yeah.
And so as Ian Clark drove, he knew where Mo would be.
How about that last play? That's one of the few passes I've seen Beasley make after it's in his hands, and I don't think Terry was ready for it. I'm cutting through. I thought you normally shoot. Why didn't you shoot it then? Kind of funny.
Harrison Barnes step back, and it's short. Mo Spates taps it to Clark. It's a fresh 24. One turnover by the Warriors in the game. Ian Clark open 3. Off back iron. Where Brewer's going. And that's an offensive foul. And the Warriors caught a break.
Yeah, that's tough for a team that not getting any scoring other than from Harden. He's on the bench now. Yeah, that's a tough call. In fact, I might have called that the other way. I thought that was a late step in. Or I wouldn't call anything. You know, he earned the basket. You play through it.
Clark attacking again. Barbosa open 3. So the Warriors are getting some shots. Not as hot as they were to begin the ball game. And Brewer sliding down. He caught an edge. Iguodala and Beasley, a little hand fighting, and Andre with the foul.
All right, let's watch somebody go on ice. Let's watch the left foot here. Here it goes. There's no wax on the floor, folks. I'll just leave it at that. They catch an edge, and they don't grip.
Howard couldn't hit the turnaround. People forget Mo Spates was in Orlando with Dwight Howard. They know each other a little bit.
When is Harrison Barnes going to start getting into it?
There's Harry missing.
He's getting all kinds of looks. Just been a tough series for him.
17-point lead at the end of one. 17 right now. Warriors would love to keep piling on here. No Spates. And Howard late to get to him.
But he did come out. He did challenge. Just like you said, it was a little late. You see, Spates knows that Howard isn't going to shoot out there. Just wanted to disrupt any kind of pass.
And Howard following the Brewer miss.
Offensively, the Warriors with this group out here, they got to keep scoring because Houston's going to start scoring this period.
These are open looks.
Not even close.
And Barbosa missing that 3.
I'm telling you, I see a little different bounce in the step with Houston right now.
Spates fouling Howard as he tried to set up shop. 8:27 remaining in the first half, and the Warriors still in control. Warrior lead at 17 with 8:27 remaining in the first half. Our Ford right choice, nothing but nets. One of the great campaigns that Steph Curry's involved in. Bed nets to fight malaria in Africa. Steph has flown to Tanzania. He has met with the President of the United States. It's a charity near and dear to his heart as well as the Warriors organization. We'd encourage you to go to callyourshot.org and get involved with the Nothing But Nets campaign.
Well, he encouraged me last year, and I'm one of their donors. And 9 out of 10 malaria victims are from Africa. Malaria deaths in Africa have gone down over the last 15 years from over 760,000 to just under 400,000. It is working. But mosquito deaths, is that remarkable? Malaria?
Callyourshot.org. Be sure to check that out during the ball game. Beasley's average double digits in the series, and Michael Beasley getting to the rim. I think you're right, Jim, that all the good vibrations, all the scoring, the edge of a blowout at the end of one. You don't want to let Houston slowly creep back into the ball game, and that turnover will become a dunk for the big man.
Bob, it's very clear that these 5 in red feel a little different with Harden on the bench. They all know they're going to touch the ball. They know this is an opportunity for them, and I don't think it's any coincidence.
Brandon Rush first playing time, and a nice take off glass.
A couple days off in Houston in between games. You see him play a lot. Played 3-on-3. Brandon Rush looked like Paul George. I mean, you forget how good these guys are. Get him in a situation like that.
It's an ISO for Howard. Bickerstaff talked about these. Spates knocking it out of bounds. There's only 5 to shoot. Something about practicing against somebody and learning them. And Mo Spates, he didn't have any fear of playing Dwight Howard. So Livingston, Klay Thompson with Brandon Rush, Harrison Barnes, and Spates. Now Bogut coming back in, and both coaches shuttling bodies. So Mo, 2 of 3, 6 solid minutes. Draymond is right behind Bogut. And I think Steve Kerr sensing the same thing you are, Jim, that this gets to 8 or 9 points after being as high as 19. Houston's in the ball game.
They're letting them fight inside. Bogut and Howard, they're all wrapped up.
A lot of banging for that rebound. Bogut just knocked it away.
Brandon Rush went up and got it.
Livingston, 5 for 5.
How do you like him being aggressive offensively like he is?
He's the leading scorer.
Seizing the moment.
Draymond meeting Beasley at the top. Draymond in full flight. Open three. Yes, sir! Brandon Rush stayed ready.
He's had an impact here. He's ready to play.
Long three out of the corner. Livingston on the handle.
Biggest lead of the night here and working on it even more.
Clay on the reload flyby. Bogut rebound.
Little flat for Clay.
Shot clock at 13. Two-man game. Back out to Draymond. His three is short. Ball moving nicely, though, and the Warriors continue to attack. Klay Thompson deflected. And it was unable to be saved by Brewer on the baseline.
It would have been his ball, but he tried to save it to catch the defense unaware. Instead, he stepped on the line.
They push it to 20 for the first time tonight. They're holding the Rockets under 30% shooting. Don't forget, this Warrior team can play the D. Our McDonald's true story. I know Peter Guber's from Hollywood, but I don't know if a scriptwriter would have bought this one. Luke Walton, phenomenal interim job. Steve Kerr returns, the best record in NBA history. He wins Coach of the Year, and the third Warrior coach to do that. And there are the close friends, and his staff is so close, all banded together in Steve's absence. What a remarkable regular season.
These players are so much better because of that coaching staff, Steve Kerr and the assistants.
Shot clock at 1, and Houston played the D. But Patrick Beverley, he saw the clock winding down. Lute Olson and Jerry Marvin. Lute, Steve's college coach at Arizona. Jerry Marvin is coach at Palisades High School. Both attending the press conference, and Lute at the game tonight. Shot clock at 9. Harden back in. Harden checked it. He had the hot hand the entire first quarter. He hasn't cooled off. James Harden's got 20.
Well, the Warriors outscored the Rockets without Harden on the floor 11-8. The Rockets did shoot 4 of 12. They did score 8 points. Didn't make a 3. Ariza's 0 for 4, and they're all from 3 tonight.
That one knocked away from Klay Thompson. Rocket passing has actually been very good. He's had it knocked away, and Houston, their 10th turnover. They've moved the ball around, but when they take it to trouble, the Warrior interior defenders have been excellent.
Well, they're reaching in, getting away with it, and disrupting.
Draymond thought about that 3. Down the high post to Bogut.
Still plenty of time here with 10.
Draymond posting. And having it knocked away. It's still Warrior ball, but only 2.5 to shoot. And Steve Kerr is going to use a 22nd timeout here.
Try to get a good shot on an inbounds pass. That was good defense by Beverley.
Well, Houston has picked up their defensive intensity. And this is maybe their last valiant effort here. They had cut it briefly to 15. That big 3 by Brandon Rush was a problem, but Jim had talked about it at the top of the telecast. Roz said the same thing. You got to take the Rockets' will away. They're single digits at halftime. They start to believe they can win this game.
Well, the Warriors here keep coming every time they get pushed. They have an answer.
Right.
They get it down to 15, maybe 13. They push it back up to 18, 20. Defense is the real key. If they just keep after it defensively, and they've done a great job keeping them out of the middle. The only place they've been hurt inside is on offensive rebounds, and that was primarily in that first quarter.
Without Steph Curry, you know Klay Thompson's going to get all that defensive attention. But he's got 11 on 4 of 6 shooting, already hit 3 threes, played defense, and continuing the outstanding offense. Klay has answered the bell in a big way here. And with all the extra attention, he can become a feeder. And when they set screens, he's still a lethal shooter. Nearly a 24-second violation. Beverly had the steal anyway. Very important 4 minutes here to close the half out. Harden is human. Missed the shot there. Motiejunas kept it alive.
He really doesn't want to shoot another 3.
He just fell down. He was able to throw the ball away. He just fell down. Draymond moved his feet. Harden's been working the step back, and he is 8 of 11 right now.
Yeah, Draymond retreated, then he slipped, so he was not able to recover on the shot.
Livingston got all the way to the rim.
He's been brilliant. Where would they be without his scoring tonight?
Who do you think was at the rim defensively that he went around? He's got a beard. Motiejunas off fire. Brandon Rush playing volleyball. Howard comes up with it. Bogut blocking the shot.
Didn't have to move to block. All he had to do was jump.
Rush from deep. And off fired. And Harden, he will tangle you and get to the line. No one does it any better. And that's the 3rd team foul, but 3 more free throws. Already with 22 of the Rockets' 32. Should the Warriors advance to the next round, you can get pre-sale access to potential future games by joining the season ticket priority wait list. Representatives ready to help you right now at 888-GSW-HOOP. Secure that pre-sale access tonight. And if you've never been to a playoff game at Oracle, do yourself a favor and get out here. Unbelievable sporting experience. Brandon Rush was good, Jim. 5 points in 5 minutes.
Absolutely. With this free throw, it will be 42 free throws by Harden in less than 5 games. He didn't shoot any in game 1.
So the lead was 20. It's at 15 right now. The Rockets looking to make a surge right before halftime. Clock at 4. Houston's picked up the D. Draymond driving, and Howard, did he goaltend it? He did.
Down the basket.
Draymond's got 8, 6, and 3. Livingston 14, Klay Thompson 11. James Harden with 25. Motiejunas flipping it in. And now you got stuff going on between Draymond and Dwight Howard. And you have double T's or multiple T's. This happened after the basket.
Well, first of all, Howard didn't like the goaltend call at the other end.
It's a double technical on Draymond Green and Dwight Howard. So no free throws.
Right under the basket. They're going to get tangled up. Okay.
And Howard extricated himself, and Draymond said, no, you're not going to be swinging at anybody.
Yeah. That's minor stuff.
That happens 30 times a game in an NBA game.
Ariza was holding.
So 2:26 left, and the game is ground to a halt here. The Warrior lead is 15. They're still holding Houston to 32% shooting and maintaining the comfortable advantage. Warriors up 15. The MVP getting his groove on a little bit during the timeout. Our Rams shots of the game really are from the season. The Splash Brothers are just something to behold. To watch them shoot from distance is just one of the most amazing things you're going to see in sports. And as a tandem, there's never been anything like it. And this year in particular, they obliterated every three-point record in the books. And we know about Curry, but Klay Thompson, part of our Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. When you look at the numeric improvement of Klay, that 276 threes, that was the league record.
Correct.
A year ago. And of course, the new one is now 402. But Klay Thompson has improved each and every year in his 5 seasons.
Yeah, if Curry had not made more than he did 3 years ago, that would have been the new record.
Yep.
Because it went from 272 to 286 to 402. They made 1,077 as a team, which is a new record. A lot of superlatives. Let's see if they can finish here, game 5, and get a little rest before the next series.
Okay, you got a foul as that 3 was taken. Draymond got spilled, and Ariza's picked up his 3rd foul. So there's moving screens, and then there's treating someone like a bowling pin. And Ariza trying to stay with Klay, and runs over Draymond, who was set.
He was indecisive. Which way do I go? Do I go top side or bottom side? He took top side, which turned out to be in favor of the Warriors, and that 3 would have counted. Ariza, 17 minutes tonight. He's 0 for 4, no rebounds, and having a tough time with Klay.
His job is just to try to harass Klay Thompson.
Plays 4 of 6, 3 of 5 for 3.
This was interesting. Ariza doubled back to bat that ball out of bounds. I mean, Houston has played pretty solid defense these last 4 or 5 minutes, Jim. They're trying to creep back into the game.
Ariza is 6'8". He is long, and he's very mobile, very athletic. Heck of a defender.
Shot clock at 7.
He doesn't give you anything.
Shot clock at 3. Klay just had to throw it up, but he made it anyway. Between 2 defenders.
Well, he had to shoot it at a different angle and a different lower release point, because otherwise he gets it blocked if he goes up normally, and he's going forward at the same time. What a heck of a finish on that shot. He had to make huge adjustments to his normal shooting style.
A guy who could shoot like that can get 37 and a quarter.
Howard, it was a heck of a move, but he just didn't finish.
He is 2 of 10. Draymond runs it right back. Field goal on the foul.
Well, this is a great improvement in Draymond's game this year. 2 years ago, he could never do this. He loves to bring the ball down the court. And now he's finishing, and I say finishing with finesse, which he did not have prior to this season. This is a soft, soft kiss off the glass.
Field goal, foul, flex, and free throw.
Well, I read a lot of stuff, and you do too, Bob, and you keep hearing these comparisons. Michigan State, Magic Johnson, bringing the ball down the floor, his size. But you know what? He is becoming more like him. I will say that.
So back up to 20, equaling the largest advantage. Harden unable to get it over front eye. Iguodala in on Ariza, running with friends. The trailer, Harrison Barnes.
Well, now you got the biggest lead again. As I say, they just keep answering anything.
Brewer couldn't get it on the cut. Howard has been active on the glass. Ariza missing that 3. Draymond will let it go out of bounds.
And I'll tell you, talk about walling off somebody. What he did to Corey Brewer. Now, Iguodala just waits for a trailer. It's the most underestimated play in basketball is a trailer like that. So often, they're not defended.
Bickerstaff just got a tee. So the technical foul, plus possession, already leading by 22. People are standing in just a raucous Oracle tonight. Clay missing the technical free throw.
Remember game one, halftime score 60-33. Well, Bernie JB's a little frustrated there. I don't blame him. Ed Malloy calls it, but they could have called it on Draymond when he flung his left arm at Corey Brewer. He couldn't get to the ball to try to save it.
You got a 30-second infectious disease control timeout right now. Clay's got some blood on him. So they have to tend to that.
Remember the 2 scratches on his left shoulder from game one? There they are. That's not the blood tonight. Those are old scars up top.
Well, that's because Clay, as part of his training method, wrestles with Wolverines on off days. That's how tough he is. This one, Drew Yoder trying to stop the bleeding there on the arm. And if you're an off guard and you move as much as Klay Thompson, they're going to try to grab, hold you, scratch you, cut you up. Seen a lot of that. But for the Warriors, defensively, it's not under 40%, the Ron Adams barometer. It's under 30% in this first half.
Well, we'll talk to Ron after. If it stays here. And
will he be happy?
Will he be happy? you got it. That's the question. Will he be happy at halftime?
Ron Adams could win the lottery on Friday and complain the banks weren't open till Monday. Well, we're keeping an eye on that Clippers-Portland score.
Yes.
And the Blazers with a 5-point advantage, with 6.5 remaining in the third. And we love Coach Adams, but he is a taskmaster. The final minute of an outstanding first half on both ends of the floor for the Warriors. Balanced scoring, good shooting, tremendous defense. Klay Thompson on the curl. Wide open Draymond. 3. Can't move the ball any better than that.
People passing up shots.
Harden wants the quick 2 for 1. That's Livingston coming in for the rebound. He knocked it away.
They're going to slow it down.
Well, up 22 here. You can't quite freeze it out. And Steve Kerr wants to get a good shot.
Yeah, let's see if they can get beyond 60 by half.
Looking for Klay on the curl. His 3 offline. Draymond batted it. Barnes unable to save it, so Houston will have the last possession. Now the Warriors have a foul to give here.
Steve Kerr knows it.
He's got Brandon Rush checking in. And this is, I think, for Livingston has 2 fouls. And they're going to make sure Sean doesn't pick up his 3rd. Steve Kerr is always aware of every little nuance. Now Curry, you can't have Livingston get 3 fouls if you can avoid it. Down to 1. Brewer careening to the rim and couldn't get it down. 17-point lead at the end of 1. 22 at halftime. The Warriors trying to close out the beer to win 25 in the first half in his own right. But Livingston and Klay combined for 27, and Draymond had 11. The Warriors build the big lead and trying to send Houston home. But Sean Livingston with 14 points. Perfect from the field, and he's alongside Ross.
Sean, you're perfect from the field. In some games in this series, you've tried to facilitate first. How come you've taken a scorer's mentality early in this game so far?
That's the way the game's going, the flow of the game. Trying to be aggressive, set the tone. I'm in a different spot. Just be aggressive, make or miss.
You know, it's been beautiful team play, beautiful team execution. Without Steph, do you guys have to concentrate more?
Absolutely. The attention to detail. We're missing an MVP of the league, so we can't make that up with one guy. It takes a team.
Thanks, Sean.
You're welcome.
Guys.
The big lead at halftime, 59-37. Livingston brilliant in replacing Steph Curry. Feldy and Fareed for Warrior Halftime Live, presented by Jack in the Box. Coming your way right after this.
The Warriors leading the Rockets by 22, and Greg Papa and Gary St. Jean getting ready for Warriors post-game live. That's them stretching out as we welcome you into Jack in the Box halftime live. Dave Feldman, Ahmed Fareed. 11 months ago to today, the Warriors eliminated the Rockets in Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. Right now, it looks like they're back on path.
We always talk about the offense with the Warriors, the splash, the three, all that. The defense is what really was highlighted in that first half. The Rockets shooting 13% from three-point land, 29% from the field, and the blocks down low. Here one on Howard, 3 blocks for the Warriors. Houston with 10 turnovers. So what, Dave, while the offense was good, the defense was just as good in that first half, leading to that 22-point lead for the Warriors as they try to eliminate the Beard and Dwight Howard as well. Dave, Gary and Papa looking good.
They are so limber.
We got Barry of baseball. Giants A's highlights coming up next.
Warriors halftime report is
presented. But the Dubs in good shape, up 22. Speaking of good shape, how about the Papa Bear and the Saints? We'll see after the game.
All the answers to be the mentors someone needs.
Our Jack in the Box at the half with a Warrior lead at 22. So what was better, the Warrior offense or their defense? They limited everybody not named James Harden. They moved the ball brilliantly, got contributions up and down the roster, and Sean Livingston hasn't missed a shot. So I don't know, can you play better?
I guess you could play a perfect game, but that'd be pretty impossible at this playoff level. But the Warriors did what they had to do. They came out at the outset, and they just put the hammer down, and they made Houston play catch-up from the very beginning of this basketball game, playing uphill the entire half.
And it wasn't just Klay Thompson. So many wide-open shots. But the defense, when you get the Warriors in points off turnovers, get them in transition, this can fuel their offense and energize the building.
It just helped everything. They forced so many turnovers early on and did not turn the ball over for the longest time. Only 1 turnover, in fact, in that first quarter. And like you said, anybody other than Harden, 5 of 34 shooting. 12 points from the rest of the Rockets without Harden. Harden, yeah, he's got his 25, 8 of 12. He's gone to the free throw line. He's 7 for 7. But he isn't going to beat you by himself, not this team.
And so for the Warriors, they build the big lead despite the Beard with a great first half. And the first half numbers, shoot it at 56%, limit Houston to 28% shooting. The Warriors can actually be better than 6 of 18 on threes. They've had wide open looks. They built the big lead, though. Now it's just a matter of managing it.
Yeah, the Warriors, by the way, went 1 of 10 in the second quarter from three-point range. So this lead that they have of 22 points could easily be a 32-point lead, but they'll take it right now at the half.
Looking for the closeout with the third quarter on the way. Warrior lead at 22 as we get ready to start the second half. Moments ago, our Roz Gold-on-Woode got up with Warrior assistant Jaron Collins.
Coach, sometimes knowing that you're going to start or that minutes will be coming your way can help a player. What has this series and added responsibility brought out of Sean Livingston?
It's shown the world what we've already known, and that he's a true professional. One of the highest compliments you can pay someone is that tell him he's a pro's pro. He always approaches the game the right way, and you see what he's able to do given the opportunity.
And it's not just Sean. The whole team is, you're up 22. It's offense, defense, that effort. Why is this team so unflappable?
Well, their commitment to one another and their commitment on the defensive end. We're going to make shots. We have enough playmakers on the offensive end to make shots. And but the real key to any success is in championships is defense. And we have a championship level defense. We held them to 28% in the first half. We got to do it again.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Ross.
It's got to be defense with the MVP out. And the Warriors turning it over, and Mota Eunice able to score. Andrew Bogut with Draymond Green, Harrison Barnes, Sean Livingston, Klay Thompson. Shot clock at 5. Harrison had missed a 3 and then missing on the mid-range. So
he just can't find his perimeter shot.
He's 2 of 7. Beverly, Mota Eunice with Harden, Howard, and Ariza. Mota Eunice begins with 5 quick, and Steve Kerr going to take a quick timeout.
So put a lid on this.
Started with the turnover and then a couple missed shots, and do not want to give the Rockets any life. 10:41 remaining in the third. The lead at 17.
We are back. Warriors Warriors up by 17 in the third quarter. Hi, everybody. Dave Feldman here courtside at Oracle, along with Ahmed Fareed, Greg Papa, and the Saint. We're here immediately following the game for Warriors Postgame Live and for a live edition of Sportsnet Central. So keep it here after the game, too. Fitz and JB, let's go back to you guys courtside.
Feldy and Fareed are in the building for Sportsnet Central. You know it's a big night. And they'd like to be talking about potential second-round opponents and the Warriors moving on to the second round. But work to be done. Motiejunas opens the second half with the first 5 points. Shot clock at 5. Klay Thompson's got Motiejunas. He drives around him, lets him fly by. And that's a big shot. I mean, Klay without Steph is a marked man, and yet he is answered with 15 on 6 of 9 shooting, and he's not forcing shots.
Not at all. He's had to limit his shot selection tonight, and it's been very, very good.
But with the shot clock winding down, he's going to have it in his hands a lot. Made something out of nothing there. Beverly, shot clock at 3. His little runner tipped away, and Draymond on the push.
They got numbers here.
The Draymond Express all the way to the rim, and wanted to pass, and then flipped it out.
Well, he didn't know the floodgates were going to open up. And all of a sudden, he had left in the air, and he had to glide through the air a long, long way, and just couldn't quite control it. But he made the right play.
So Bogut uses his first foul, gets Beverly before he starts to shoot.
So he took off from the free throw line.
And Bogut fouling Howard very roughly there.
Tough to finish that layup when you take off from the free throw line.
Well, the funniest part on that replay, if you saw it again, Harden backed up. Yeah. Draymond said, how come he didn't guard me or try to challenge me?
Yeah, I wanted to make the pass. Mishandled the ball. It gives the Warriors time to clamp down on him.
And is a playoff foul. Dwight Howard is 2 of 10 from the field. He made his first 2 free throws. Missed that one badly. And the Rockets continue to work the offensive glass. The second chance points are 17-0. And of course, Houston shooting 32%. There's a lot more offensive rebounds. You got a foul off the ball. Beverly will pick one up. Ariza was holding on to Klay. Who was going to win the battle between Ed Malloy and Kenny Maurer to call a foul? It was funny. Harrison Barnes getting all he can eat. And the Rockets are daring him to beat them. He's 2 of 8. Hugging up on all the rest of the Warriors. Now, this is what irritates people when you play against James Harden. Because what is this?
Well, he drives down the middle, puts that arm out. Now, how can you call this a shooting foul?
He's fouled there.
He'd already lost the ball. Maybe he was going to pass. It takes a lot of guesswork from the official. Oh, I guess he was going to pass. Oh, I guess he was going to shoot.
Well, Harden's got 26.
He's pretty clever.
This is his 9th free throw. He's been perfect on 8 attempts.
It works for him, doesn't it?
Broadcasting jinx still works. Misses his first free throw. Klay Thompson just turns and fires a 3.
I'll tell you, he and Stephen Curry are the most unorthodox shooters. I mean, how many people are going to take that shot?
Beverly missing there.
Hardly turns around in time to even see the hoop, as did Klay.
See all the red around Klay Thompson. Motiejunas blocking Livingston. And Bogut will just knock it out of bounds.
So Livingston finally misses a field goal.
It's barely in his hands. And he turns around and hits a three.
I'm telling you, they're just different. They're very different. And incredibly competent.
Bogut says no.
Well, James Harden averages 8 assists tonight in this series. Thought he had one here, but Bogut changed that idea.
Demo was denied.
Harden got poked in the eye.
Step back, off iron. Howard's doing a great job tonight keeping the ball alive. And Ariza, he can't hit the three. Howard gets another one. Dwight Howard is rebounding everything. Beverly, a third opportunity. The Rockets still get a chance.
They've got 17 second chance points already. It's kept them in within striking distance.
Howard and Bogut come together. And who is the foul on? It's going to go against Bogut.
Well, ever since the first quarter, when Howard was rebounding everything and getting offensive rebounds, and I talked about Bogut trying to keep contact, has to stay closer. He's been doing that. And that time he just got a little frustrated and threw the right elbow. But he's trying to stay connected to it because Howard has been crashing the glass, as have other Rockets as well.
Bogut's third. Can the Warriors come up with 5 stops on one trip?
Well, Bogut got a second foul on one trip.
So that is 4 fouls on the big man.
15-foul penalty situation.
So the ominous getting into the bonus, Jim, when you're talking 7:44 remaining in a quarter, you could see a lot of Rockets free throws in the third. Eunice missing the first.
You won't mind if they're a lot from Howard.
Warriors have a larger, expanded available stock of jersey. Every man, woman, and child in Dub Nation, including the new Chinese Heritage jersey, every player, every jersey for every fan, all at Warriors.com. So Anderson Varejao will get the playing time here with Bogut in foul trouble.
And Varejao wasn't on the active list last game. So Eunice, nope, 0 for 2. He's 53% on the series coming in. So now he's 8 of 17, under 50%.
Klay Thompson, deep three.
He's feeling it. He's not going to stop. We got 7.5 minutes left in the quarter for him.
That lob was off glass. Eunice, little push shot. And Varejao just fighting with Howard so Livingston could snatch the board. Sean trying to get in rhythm. 7 of 8.
Beverly was right in his face, and he still knocked it in.
Standing ovation with 7:05 remaining in the third. The biggest lead of the night. Klay Thompson's 8 of 11. Radar from long range. And then Sean Livingston, 16 on 7 of 8 shooting.
Welcome back to Oracle Arena. Warriors up 24 on the Rockets. Steve Kerr, Coach of the Year, gets the best out of people, including Mo Spates. Steve said he uses frequent communication to make sure that Mo knows they don't take him for granted. Steve told me, I have a ton of respect for Mo, having been a shooter coming off the bench most of my career. I know how hard it is to go out and be expected to make shots when you only play 5 or 10 minutes in a game. But he said Mo never complains. He's a joy to be around. He has a big teddy bear smile. Everyone on the team loves him, and he gets buckets.
Well, Steve Kerr, Roz, believes that chemistry on a sports team comes from the bottom of your roster. And you need to engage and empower players that don't play the heavy minutes.
That's the word. He empowers everyone, if you want to say beneath him, the coaching staff, the players that he coaches. And you look at Mo Spates this year. Just a terrific year. He makes 24 threes. He made 19 in his previous years. Go cumulative in the NBA.
Varejao, nice look to Draymond. Another field goal
Virgil is already at the other end. The Warriors bench celebrating the pass. He may not be as smooth a passer as Andrew Bogut from the top, but he looks just as often as Andrew. He's looking to make plays all the time.
He's already got 2 assists in the 1 minute he's been on the floor. And Draymond converting the three-point play. He's got 14. Left-handed. Draymond got a piece of it. Virgil doing a great job just fighting Howard. Just keep knocking it away from the big man. Klay Thompson, 3. Shot it from Fremont.
Now there's 6 minutes left. I told you it wouldn't be the last one you'd see from that kind of distance.
Harden on the kick out. Beasley can't hit.
You better find Klay.
The Rockets are 8 for 45 if you're not named James Harden.
Klay wants the ball.
Klay, 3! Houston takes time. A 17-2 run. Klay's got 14 in the third. From deep, deeper, and deepest.
That's why he wanted the ball. Pretty simple to break down. When he's shooting like this, that basket looks 3 feet wide, and 29-footers look like 3-foot shots.
5 of 5 in the quarter.
He went out to Curry range.
10 of 13, and Klay having a lot of fun.
It's that basket. It's the same end of the court where he got 37 in a quarter against Sacramento. And Bob, it's a timeout, but he's not finished.
I'll tell you, the Warrior owners, they're the biggest fans in the building. It's at Lacob and Goober. They're having a blast sitting courtside. There's 5.5 left in the third, and he's not done. He gets into these moments.
I keep telling you,
he's not done. Harden leaves it on the iron.
So Ariza shadowing Klay. Let's see if he can get the ball. They're going to look for him. He's going to come around. No, they're going to go. He's going to come back around, and they're going inside, forcing it.
Unable to be saved. During that timeout, Trevor Ariza got a phone call from Nick Stauskas. He said, when he gets this hot, be careful.
Well, here's the thing. I'd call his number until he missed. That's what he wants. Ariza's hanging on to him.
Play again. Howard jumps out at him. May have fouled him.
He may have gotten away with a foul, but
landed on him.
At least it cooled him off.
Ariza able to score in response.
That's his first hoop of the night. First one. He's 1 of 8.
He's too tired to shoot. He's trying to track Klay Thompson.
His matchup is now -25, one-on-one.
Harden, pretty physical with Livingston. Iguodala missing that 3, but he was fouled. Well, Beverly's picked up his 4th. And Iguodala to the line for 3 free throws.
He's only taken 1 shot tonight. He's got 2 free throws to show for his minutes on the court at the offensive end. He's been shooting threes, 8 of 14 from 3 coming in to this game.
Well, Steve Kerr mentioned Iguodala in his Coach of the Year press conference. And in the first half, tells you everything about Andre you'd ever want to know. He played 13 minutes, he took 1 shot, and he was plus 17.
He does make the team better.
That's because he had 5 assists and no turnovers.
Well, he made his first 2 tonight. He misses this. Let's see what he does with the next 2.
Kenny Mauer is trying to diffuse the Draymond-Howard conversation. They both have been teed up already. It's gotten a little chippy the last couple minutes.
Another three-point shot, folks. We have another free throw. You might want to inform the players. There was so much time between the first and second, they lost track. And I'm talking about everybody lost track.
This will be the third free throw now. Livingston will get the rest. We're working on Ian Clark early in that third quarter. Got dinged up a little bit.
Missed all three.
Andre misses all the free throws.
I'm surprised after he makes the first two tonight. It's right there in the head.
Harden with a 30-point night.
And he just knows how. Quick draw, quick shoot inside over a bigger opponent.
He has 10 field goals. The rest of his teammates have 9. Play to a rolling Varejao to flip it up and out. The Warriors have had control of this game, but there's still a long way to go. They just don't want any kind of Houston life. Beasley hitting a 3. Had it as high as 31 at one point. Steve Kerr is going to use the timeout. 3:48 remaining in the third. The Rockets being held to 30% shooting. And the Warriors, behind Klay Thompson's 27, have been rolling all night. Warrior lead at 24. Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett, Roz Gold on Wood A with you. Got to be a little careful here with the frustration of the Rockets, because Dwight Howard and Draymond Green, you see the pushing and the elbows, and you know Draymond's not going to back down to anyone. But
well, the officials they've got to take control of this.
But you got to be careful in that if you were to get frustrated, you know, a swing, whether you make contact or not, you get suspended for a next game, those type of things. And
yeah, you've got to keep your emotions under control, without question.
Well, that's, you know, Howard's got nothing to lose. His season may end tonight. Draymond was fouled by Dwight Howard.
Very rarely do you see Draymond take a shot like that. Much like Klay Thompson. Off the dribble, a stop and pop jumper. His outside shot is generally a catch. It's a one-handed push.
Is that how you contest shots? You hit a guy in the face like that? I mean, this is continuing between the two of them. He can smile all he wants, but I mean, Dwight Howard's throwing his weight around. Draymond Green's not going to back off, and he didn't like that either. Warriors are scuffling from the line, 6 of 13.
They've struggled all series. They've had some bad shooting nights from the line, and they've got to improve on that as the series goes on here. I'm talking about the next series.
Right.
Not this one. Continuing on. It can cost you games.
Jason Terry off iron. And out of bounds to the Warriors. The Roz was outside the huddle. What are they talking to calm down Draymond?
Well, Luke Walton wanted him and the team to stay disciplined. He said, don't get sucked into what they're doing and their stuff. We have more games to play. These guys are done.
And I think that's a great message. Iguodala rises and hits the jumper.
I like that. He said, I'm gonna get a little jump shot here. I'm not gonna settle for the 3. And he shot that with confidence. So important.
Harden streaking in. Varejao gave ground.
Did a nice job. Didn't get him to the line.
And in rush 3. Perfect.
I know it's only practice, Bob, but you know, I saw in Houston how well he practiced.
Well, Jim, he's got 8 points in 6 minutes.
I told him, I said, Brandon, you have so much more talent than you realize. You're playing in practice, and you look like Paul George. You look like Paul George. Shooting shots, driving to the hoop. I said, you could do that. And he's come back tonight nicely.
He made 3 threes all of last season. He made over 60 this year, and he's a playoff contributor. I mean, it's his resurrection is a story of this season. It's one of these stories for the bench.
He's got his hops back, too. And I was impressed with him driving to the basket and finishing in the practice sessions. I think he could be even better next year. He can go get rebounds as well.
Draymond working on Terry. And Bergeau will get to the line. So Howard has 4 fouls on a 3 of 11 shooting night.
Bergeau career 63%. So they're not putting a shooter on the line with any kind of regularity.
Free throwing can be contagious. The Warriors were in the bottom 10 for a lot of the season. Got to the middle of the pack as a team.
3 years ago, only time he was ever over 70%. In Cleveland, he shot 75.5%. 1 year, you think it would build from there, or at least stay consistent.
Easily contested at the rim by Bergeau. Draymond pushing ahead. In Clark corner. And he drops in the 2.
He's got confidence in these playoffs now.
That's an offensive foul. Corey Brewer warded off with a free arm, and Ed Malloy saw it.
Well, if he hadn't, he's going to get it stuffed. They had that covered.
Points, 57% shooting without the MVP and only 6 turnovers as a team.
Well, that's impressive.
You can't play any better than that.
23 assists. They're averaging in the series 28.5. They average nearly 30 regular season, just under.
Shot clock at 7. Iguodala didn't settle for the 3. Bergeau had that layup blocked from behind.
I'd like to see him go just try to stuff him. Make sure he gets contact on a hoop.
Brewer had missed those 23 straight threes, made one in the last game, hits a 3 there. Final minute of the third quarter that the Warriors have just dominated. Drew that lead from 22 to 33. Iguodala missing the jumper. Harden comes right at you, but Brandon Rush gave ground, and he waited for the pass. And Bergeau to Iguodala, and you saw Howard making sure he did not dunk it on his head.
Yeah, he knows that he's taking the flight home for the last time this season. You got to be a little careful in there. I thought Bergeau was going to try to finish this play himself, and Andre was going to slam that down, and Howard would not let him get close enough.
I'm just glad that Andre landed cleanly. That's so dangerous when someone's in midair like that, Jim, and they get pushed. That was the injury that hurt Brandon Rush.
Just before Stephen Curry's injury in Houston, Iguodala had a slam dunk with his left hand. Now, no one fouled him, but by hitting the rim as he did, holding on to the rim a little bit, he lost his balance. Yep. He fell very hard to the floor. It was his own accord, and it took him there. Nothing that the defender did at all.
And Andre makes both free throws. Knocked it away from Harden. It'll still be Houston ball.
Andre confident enough that he can reach in from that distance to disrupt Harden without fouling. Let's see if he does it again. Got a switch on the play.
Beasley jumper.
One thing about Beasley, he may be absent in other areas of the game, but that kid can score.
Shot clock off. 30-point lead. Down to 3. And Clark, little teardrop. Howard sent it away. And that'll do it for the third quarter. Up 17 at the end of one. 22 at halftime. 30 heading into the fourth. And the Warriors trying to end it tonight. Offense and defense getting it done on both ends of the floor. Our Toyota game summary. We have had no lead changes and no ties. The Warriors have led wire to wire in building a 30-point lead. At halftime, they had outscored the Rockets 124-75 in the last 4 quarters they had played. Second half in Houston, first half here, and just continued that domination. And that's without Steph Curry.
That third quarter, Houston gets 22, and that's their highest scoring quarter in this game.
Well, Beasley opens the fourth, but that's got to be part of the identity as Portland has beaten the Clippers in LA. Closeout opportunity for the Blazers on Friday night in Portland. Were that to be the case, the Warriors would play Portland on Sunday here at Oracle. Clippers somehow rally, make it a 7-game series. Game 1 would be Tuesday here at Oracle. So Sunday or Tuesday, clear the schedule. James Harden putting it in. Barbosa and Iguodala with Barnes, Spates, and Brandon Rush. Brandon, what a game. 10 points in 10 minutes on 4 of 5 shooting. This continues the bench brigade that has been so excellent in this series. Brewers fouled.
Warriors foul. Brandon Rush, first personal. First team foul. 33 for Brewer. The line, 2 shots.
Corey Brewer to shoot a pair. All new playoff apparel presented by Adidas is available. Celebrate the Dubs' 4th consecutive playoff appearance with the commemorative apparel and also commemorating 73 for the regular season record for wins in a year. People like those strength in numbers, and it goes very nicely with a 73 lid. Barbosa setting up space, better pass. Brandon Rush could hit, and Leandro Barbosa took it away from Dwight Howard. Spades for 3. Take down Barbosa again. Third opportunity, courtesy of LB. Barbosa driving on the big man. Trying to drop it to Brandon Rush, and the Rockets Harden coming up with a steal. Harden can't finish with the right hand.
One of his easiest of the night.
Rolled his eyes after that didn't go down.
It's academic now. I mean, we just have to see how long J.B. Bickerstaff's going to leave Harden in.
Spades missing there.
What the final score will be.
What would be nice is to get Harrison Barnes a bucket or 2.
Yep, I agree with that.
If at all possible.
And, you know, the way things have been going, it'd be nice if they could play a game and nobody get hurt.
That's,
you know?
well said.
It concerns me. Just feel terrible about Chris Paul, Blake Griffin. It's not right.
I mean, think about it. Avery Bradley, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, Steph Curry. A lot of significant contributors been dinged up in the postseason. Nicholas Batum. And there it is. Harrison Barnes getting a bucket.
And he had to work hard for that. James Harden played some defense there. Usually when you face him up, you're going to go around him, and Barnes couldn't do that. But he stayed with it and went the right way to get a bank.
Iguodala with the steal. Andre around Harden, dropped it to Barbosa.
I don't mind getting Barbosa going a little bit too.
Yep.
His shooting from the perimeter has been a little shaky. Gets his first hoop of the night.
Michael Beasley. He's earned a job for next year somewhere. Averaging 10 in the series. He has 11 tonight. And you said, Jim, 6th, 7th guy, come off the bench and shoot.
Well, he wasn't the second pick in the draft for nothing.
Barbosa keeps getting matched up on Dwight Howard, and that time the layup to the jumper.
Absolutely. There's a connection there. His first 2 shots in the first half weren't even close. That one gave him confidence.
Corey Brewer misfiring. Long rebound out to Terry. Hey, Howard has rebounded the ball tonight. And the second chance points, the one area Houston has dominated, 20-0. Steve Kerr's going to use a timeout. 7:02 remaining. 5 games against the Rockets a year ago. It's going to be 5 games again this year. And Harrison Barnes, he worked for it and got it over the long arm of the law. Not going to have Steph Curry for a couple weeks, but Sean Livingston with 16 points on 7 of 8 shooting. Told Roz at halftime, it's the rhythm of the game. It's what the game demanded at the early part. Looking for his own shot right around Harden there. And he had some difficult mid-range jumpers. He doesn't shoot threes, but mid-range, he's remarkable.
I loved his aggressiveness at the offensive end tonight, right at the outset in that first quarter. But he comes off the bench in game 1 with 9. Then he gets a start as Curry was hurt. He gets 16, 7 of 9. He gets another start in game 3, which Curry didn't play. The Warriors lose by 1. He gets 16 in that on 6 of 13. And then he comes off the bench again in game 4 in the win. He gets 9, 4 of 8. And we've chronicled the night already. 16 again. Pretty consistent.
Also, too, for the series, his assist-to-turnover ratio has been outstanding.
4-1.
Harrison Barnes. But that basket is not going to count, I don't think.
Yeah, Livingston doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's under control, incredibly unselfish. And I'll tell you what, he's a beast to defend because of his length. When he gets that, he's not going to shoot threes on you, but he can get to a spot that he wants on the floor, and he'll shoot it in your face, even if it is well defended.
They want to see if the foul is on Corey Brewer here. So the Ring Central call under review, brought to you by Ring Central. Business communication made simple. And it was Clay and Brewer that came together. It is Corey Brewer. And they wanted to review that to see if the foul occurred before Harrison Barnes took the shot.
Well, if they're going to call the foul on Brewer, on Klay Thompson,
yeah, that foul occurred well before Harrison shot the ball.
Pretty simple.
Unless you want continuation.
Well, I don't know. Why don't we ring them? Here, they're standing right there. Let's go inform them. Forget Secaucus.
I'm glad they put the Secaucus replay. Otherwise, Kenny Maurer could be talking to Ed Malloy on those headphones.
If the foul is there, okay, ready for this? If they call that in the act of shooting, then they should never, ever call a charging foul. Ever.
you're saying, well, the game's a 27-point game. Why would they take this time? Because the officials are evaluated and graded in every single game and every single call. So it is no basket. It is a foul on Corey Brewer. It occurred before Barnes shot the ball. The wave is back at Oracle Gym. I don't know if you enjoyed this in the 73rd win against Memphis.
And it was sustained for, I don't know, maybe a minute and a half, 90 seconds.
Well, they're having fun with it again tonight. Everything old is new again.
What is today?
Today is the date of the
Is it
month?
Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday? What date is it? What day is it? I never know.
Today is Wednesday.
Oh, it's Throwback Wednesday.
Okay.
That's what I was getting to.
All right.
I was hoping it was Tuesday.
I don't know if you wanted me to say it was April 27th. I don't know where you wanted me. Where was I going with this?
I don't want the date. I want the day. The
Got
day.
it. Harden missing there, and Spates went over Howard's back. Well, with 6:10 left and a big lead, you're right. What you're thinking about is people getting hurt. So when you see Klay Thompson still out there and Sean Livingston still out there, it's a little troubling. And Draymond was pulled because Dwight Howard was trying to lure him into something. That was getting a little contentious. Oh, rebounding after the Beasley miss.
Well, Steve Kerr does not want to play Livingston over 30 minutes.
He's right at 25, 26 right now.
He knows they're going to have a little extra rest.
Barnes has scored. Barbosa getting into it. And so even guys who had scuffled starting to feel a little bit better about garbage time here. Corey Brewer, nice finish. So pretty simple if you're a Warrior fan. You watch the Blazer Clipper game on Friday night. Portland wins, Oracle Sunday. Clippers win, Oracle Tuesday. So make your plans accordingly. Harden missing there. Be very curious with the Rockets this offseason. Where do they go and what do they do? The Warriors have owned this team in the playoffs each of the last 2 years. 5:09. The Warriors are bound for the second round. Our Metro PCS unlimited performance. The unlimited range of Klay Thompson. 10 of 14 for the game. 7 of 11 on threes. 27 total points. Our Metro PCS unlimited performance. And without his splash brother, Klay Thompson still represented the shooting touch of the Warriors.
Well, they've been averaging 22.5 in the series, but he was only 39% shooting tonight.
How about that? First player in NBA history to make at least 7 threes in back-to-back games. Never been done.
Very interesting stat.
Dwight Howard has 20 rebounds, but he is 3 of 12 shooting. So Zealy, Livingston, Ian Clark with Barnes and Barbosa.
Harden 35 points on 23 shots. Thompson 27 points on 14 shots.
Harrison Barnes a little short there. And you wondered when J.B. Bickerstaff would empty the bench. He has. K.J. McDaniels with Montrezl Harrell, who shot the air ball. Clint Capella. Howard remains as the only starter. Andrew Godlock dropping in the jumper.
You know, until game 4, Dwight Howard had not scored in the fourth quarter.
Right.
He had missed all 8 free throws in fourth quarters in the first 3 games. He's only taken 1 shot, hadn't played much in the fourth quarter. He got 5 points fourth quarter last game in the blowout loss. That's been a factor.
And Zealy for the baseline. Well, Dwight Howard, you keep hearing he may opt out of his contract, become a free agent. There's all that salary cap room for all the different teams around the league.
Well, he'll get the money because it's there. It's there to be had this year. That big bundle was not just portioned in. It's coming in all at one time.
Right.
It's not rationed.
No smoothing.
No.
What they're going to talk about. The cap's going to jump almost $30 million per team.
What's happening with the CBA with the broadcasters? If you can let me know on that.
Jim, you have no salary cap. The 22nd timeout with 3:26 left in a 30-point game. And this will be our last broadcast of the season on CSN Bay Area. We will tell you that no one will be pulling for the Warriors more than Jim Barnett and Bob Fitzgerald. And we would love to see you again in a parade situation as we did a year ago. It's a long way to go, but this has been a special year and a special team.
Pretty incredible. So many superlatives, but 73-9, a new NBA record. The coaching staff just did a marvelous job. Luke Walton, how about them? Taking over. First 43 games, 39-4, and then Steve Kerr comes in, coach of the year. They win their first 24. They make over 1,000 threes. Stephen Curry makes 402 threes, and he also is a member of that 50, 40, and 90 club. Very, very special. And you know what? It's fun. It's fun working with you. It's fun working for Comcast. And this team is something else. They're so inclusive. They make us feel part of it.
That's the coach of the year and more awards to come because Steph Curry is going to win back-to-back MVPs. That's going to happen.
Yes.
But we have had just a blast calling the Warriors together for the past 2 decades, and none more so than the last 4 years of these playoff runs. So Ian Clark unable to hit the runner there. Barbosa, the steal, and he'll lay it up and in.
Veteran courtesy there. Capella scores, but Dwight Howard did not go for Barbosa's.
Yeah, didn't want to lay him out.
He did not go for the block. I just call that professional experience courtesy.
You have thoughts on the Blazers or Clippers as far as a second-round opponent?
Well, with the Clippers injured, I mean, it's just not right, not fair. The Blazers, they win tonight, right?
They did.
Okay, if they finish it off in Game 6 in Portland, then they are going to be ready to primed ready to play the Warriors.
Well, the world champs look ready right now. We throw a lot of numbers at you, but the fun factor, the entertainment quotient, the chemistry and camaraderie, the joy that this team plays with and the love they have for each other is contagious, it's palpable, it's real, and it shows on the court. It's a great group of guys that play basketball the right way, and people know it in the Bay, and they know it around the USA.
It's very difficult to get that kind of bond, camaraderie, at the professional level. When these guys are making guaranteed money, millions and millions of dollars, and yet they put their egos aside. They actually have a collegiate type atmosphere, which is extremely rare.
The 2016 version of this is they have a team group chat where they're like 8th grade high school girls texting each other all the time about everything. And you can't fake that. And it goes year round.
How about when they played the little prank on Festus Ezeli and said, we're sorry. They all,
you've been waived.
You've been waived. The Warriors dropped you. You were a great teammate. Nice having you around. And let me tell you, they had him speechless for quite a while. That was kind of cruel.
Well, I think that Steve Kerr said it best. That man in the jacket there, he calls Steph Curry a pint-sized Tim Duncan. Yep. When your superstar is one of the guys, when we have these team dinners and Steph Curry's hanging out with Ian Clark and James Michael McAdoo has a voice and an authority, the roster, there's respect and friendship all the way up and down with all the guys.
You've got a leader in the head coach, and you've got a leader on the floor who's the MVP.
Yeah, what you'll see on the road is never a Warrior by themselves. They hang in groups, and you can't fake that. They genuinely like being around each other. And it shows on the court.
Ian Clark and Stephen Curry have a little thing that they do before each game now. Festus, he's still a little rusty.
Yep.
And you can't give him a pass at 95 miles an hour. You got to slow it up just a tad for him. Maybe a little, as you do that, instead of pushing it forward, it's a little underhand floater if there's that much room, and you know it's not going to be a turnover. Bring him along, help him out.
The Warriors also do something that you mentioned a lot, Jim. It's a game. You have to have fun. You have to play the game. And Brandon Rush, you make 3 threes all last season. You make 3 threes in 1 playoff game tonight. Welcome to the resurrection. What a night. He's got 15
in 15 minutes.
Dwight Howard can't hold it. B. Rush is fouled coming out of the pack.
I want to see him in action, and we may see that in the playoffs yet. He's going to get minutes. Him taking it to the basket as well and finishing inside.
Trevor Ariza, a game effort trailing Klay Thompson around for 5 games, but that can get tiresome. McAdoo ricochets to his and then cutting Brandon Rush, they throw it away. You know, the one thing, Jim, if the Warriors were to see Portland as decimated as the Clippers are to injury, C.J. McCollum and Damian Lillard are incredible. We know this.
Yes, they are.
But Klay Thompson and Sean Livingston are much taller than both of those guys.
I'll tell you what, though. Portland's got a little thing going. And I'm going to say this. Mason Plumlee is rebounding the heck out of the basketball.
Sure is.
And he is one terrific passer from the center position.
That'll be a contrast in styles in the backcourt. And Terry Stotts, who finished second to Steve Kerr and Coach of the Year, he'll be ready. Greg, Gary, and Kalena are ready for Honda Postgame Live in 43 seconds. Peter Guber enjoyed this one, as did Joe Lacob. The Warriors very mature as a defending champ, Jim. You don't fool around and have a series go any longer than it needs to.
Nope.
You lose the MVP of the league and you still beat the Rockets in 5 games.
Took a shot by Harden in the last few seconds to beat him by 1 in Houston. Otherwise, it's a sweep. They'll take it as it is.
They shoot 54%. They limit the Rockets to 32% shooting. And Ian Clark is fouled as he flips it in.
What I think they've proven in the last 6 quarters is, sure, they're better. They admit it. They're better with Stephen Curry. But they can certainly play very good basketball without him. You can't deny that. They know how to play, and they believe in themselves, and they're very capable.
I think also, too, he's coming back.
Yes.
He's going to be back.
Well, if they keep playing like this, they don't need to even think about rushing him back.
The longer they stay alive in the playoffs, Curry and the cavalry will be coming.
That was really good news just to have it a grade 1 MCL sprain. I had a grade 3 one time, so I knew the difference.
The shot clock is off, and Dwight Howard going to take a 3 to end the Rocket season. 114 to 81. You like offense? 13 threes and 55% shooting. You like defense? 81 points allowed and hold the Rockets to 32% shooting. James Harden goes for 35, and Dwight Howard has held 3 of 13. Every win buys more time for Curry to rest, recuperate, and rehabilitate. Draymond Green outstanding with 15 points, 8 assists, and 9 boards. Klay Thompson had 27, Livingston 16, and Brandon Rush with 15 off the bench. So the Warriors, for the 2nd year in a row, send the Rockets home in a 5-game series. And it will either be the 2nd round beginning Sunday or Tuesday, depending on the Clipper-Blazer result of Friday night. So much fun at Oracle. The crowd was ready. The closeout and the confetti. And second-round opponent to be determined. But for the Golden State Warriors, offensively and defensively, you're going to have a lot of happy players and a lot of happy coaches.
Absolutely. They win every quarter today. They never gave the Houston Rockets a chance. Never gave them a glimpse of daylight.
They led the entire game. We had no lead changes, and we had no ties. And so for the Warriors, it's just exactly what you would want. And building off that Game 4 win, they win it in 5, and Roz has Draymond Green.
Draymond, congratulations. 8 assists, 0 turnovers. With Steph out, the ball was in your hands a lot more. How are you able to still be so efficient?
Just make the simple play. You know, coach has been preaching against this team. If we make the simple play, that's all it takes. You know, they're a team that gambles a lot, so if you're trying to make the play, the exciting play, you're going to turn it over because they're very athletic and they're always squirming around. So, you know, just make the simple play, and when it's there, just advance the ball off.
And it was a dominant team game. When you guys are locked in, how come it always seems to start on the defensive end?
Well, that's where it all starts at. You know, our defense leads to the offense. When we get stops, we're able to get out and run. And, you know, when you get easy buckets in transition, it makes it a lot easier to score in the half court because you get that rhythm. So it always starts with the defense.
Without Steph, people were expecting to see some weakness. Do you think you opened some eyes in this series?
I mean, I'm not sure open eyes, you know, but that's not what it's about. You know, it's about us coming out to get wins. You know, we don't really pay attention to the noise that they can't win without Steph. We know what we're capable of, so it wasn't really the open eyes. I'm not sure what people think now. Really don't care.
Well, how about this? Do you care about this? The Trailblazers beat the Clippers in LA. How have injuries in that series and injuries for your team informed how you feel about or approach what's next?
I mean, it's changed a lot. You know, the Clippers were kind of in the driver's seat, although Portland, I think they were probably going to take Game 4 anyway, but you know, it's tough because, you know, you lose your guys and the whole dynamic of the series changed. So, fortunately, we're able to get the win. Unfortunately for the Clippers, they dropped one at home, but they still have a chance, but it definitely changed the series.
All right, thanks, Draymond.
Thank you.
Guys.
Well, Draymond, Roz, played 32 minutes, and he was plus 32. I mean, talk about a floor game. And for the Warriors, all 3 players that had to come up big did. Klay Thompson was magnificent, Sean Livingston incredible, and Draymond Green, as usual, amazing game. Now, this win propels the Warriors into the second round. And so the brackets now, Oklahoma City and San Antonio, that's going to be a titanic matchup. And the Warriors may be a game away from seeing Portland in the second round. So for the Warriors, you're playing without Steph Curry, but you check every box defensively and offensively. And there's a belief system that Draymond's talking about. The Warriors believe they can get it done.
Well, when they play defense like they did in this series, they're going to beat any team. You know, they held Houston to about 38.5% shooting. They held them to 27% from three-point range in all the games, and they're giving them 89, 90 points a night. So you play that kind of defense, you're going to be there. And I'll say this right now. Yes, they need Stephen Curry. It's going to help. But this is a team that can beat any other team. It would not surprise me that they could go all the way without Stephen Curry. Now, they're going to have much better chance with him, but this team believes in themselves. They have the defensive tools and the prowess to do it offensively. I thought Livingston was terrific in this series. Livingston stepped in for Stephen Curry. I know that's a big statement to say. We all want Stephen back, and he will be back. But this team knows how to win when the chips are against them.
Yeah, and also, too, when you look at the Portland regular season games, don't forget that after the Blazers beat the Warriors in the first game after the All-Star break, the Warriors put 81 on Portland in a half here at Oracle. That would be an up-and-down series. It would be a lot of points, but the first team to play defense probably would win some of those games. So if it is Portland, that would be a compelling matchup.
Yeah, we don't know whether it's going to be Portland or the Clippers. Anything can happen there. But you're going to have a heck of a guard lineup with McCollum and Lillard going against Thompson and Curry. And Curry and Thompson have had great success scoring up there the last couple of years. They love to play in Portland. It's going to be a heck of a series if it is them. But you can't take anything for granted. You got to go out and you got to do it on the court. But tonight, they just vanquished Houston. And Dwight Howard was not a factor in the series.
All right, we are going to enjoy the Warriors playoff run. This is our last broadcast on CSN. So many talented people work on the cameras and audio and replay in our truck. For our producer, Phil Policino, and Tom Hunter, our director, Tommy Adza, and Dan Becker. The graphics of Eric Fisher, the incredible sideline reporting for Roz Gold on Woody, and as good as there is, the man with a mustache, my partner, JB, Jim Barnett. This is Bob Fitzgerald saying so long from Oracle for the final time this season. We'll see what the Warriors do in the playoffs. This is yet to be written. Warrior Postgame Live is on the way right now.
Get ready for the fireworks show. They're going to blow off as we say so long to the Rockets, shooting them into the sky.
I'm ready this time.
114-81 Warriors. Klay Thompson made the first three of the game. Moments later, Draymond Green made one. Moments later, Sean Livingston a dunk. Those are your three stars. It was 8-0 Warriors, and the Rockets never recovered. And now the Warriors are on to round two. Will it be Portland? Will the Clippers come back on Friday and give us a Game 7? We got a lot to discuss on the Honda Warriors Post-Game Live. Greg Papa, Gary St. Jean, Kalena Azubuike. Sadly, it was never a competition. 8-0, and it seemed like they were up 30 points the entire game tonight.
Well, I think your friends behind you agree with you, Pop. I'll share this with you. We talked about the keys to the game.
Fireworks, St. Louis.
There they go.
They're going to fireworks, Pop.
We're ready this time.
Get ready.
I'm ready. I've seen it. You love it. How about Klay Thompson tonight, Kalena? He's the first player in the history of postseason NBA basketball to make 7 threes in back-to-back games. He's our Wendy's player of the game. And when he got rolling in the third quarter, I thought it was Steph Curry-like range.
Right.
From 26, from 28, from 31. How far out will he go?
He's pulling up from deep. That third quarter, he got hot. And then it was time for a couple heat checks. He was moving well without the ball. He did everything well tonight. And his teammates were looking for him. Obviously, the unselfishness. Guys are going to set screens. He was hitting them from everywhere. He just played a great game. He racked up assists from his teammates. That shot was a tough shot right there, but he made that one. That's kind of the night he's having, hitting crazy shots like that. But when they're shooting like this, when they're playing defense like they played tonight and they're shooting the ball like this, they're a great team. They're tough to beat even without Steph. And this is the kind of performance they needed tonight to close this game out. Look at this one. This is the one.
I love that one.
You got a little hot
feeling good.
Distance.
He's feeling good.
He was not shooting the ball well the first 3 games of the series. The fireworks are going for you, St. Louis. But Sunday in Game 4, in particular the third quarter, he was terrific shooting the ball, and tonight as well. And Trevor Ariza was all over him. When you look at this, they beat the Houston Rockets in 5 games, and Steph Curry played 2 halves of basketball. They essentially won 3 games without him at all, St.
Well, tonight, Klay came out hot in the beginning, and in the third quarter, he turned it on again. But the whole key to this thing is their defense. And you look at Bogue's stat line, and it doesn't blow you away. But he just set a tone in the paint, and the perimeter guys did a wonderful job. Draymond, another stellar defensive performance, and they got in the open floor, shared the basketball, made threes. And I just love the way they're playing right now. I thought Draymond said it well. I've got a good shot. Kalena's got a great shot. There's no hesitation on my part. I'm giving it right over here to the great shot. And the sharing of the ball is infectious, and it's hard to defend.
What they have to do. They know how to play without Steph. They know they got to have a great defensive effort, get their active hands going, force turnovers like they did tonight. The first half, you said it, they shot 28%, the Rockets did. They forced 10 turnovers, did the Warriors. They got out and ran. The shots were falling. The execution was great. The screening was great. The ball movement, everything was working tonight. Huge win.
To me,
and the fireworks are great.
I know,
the fireworks are going.
Sandy, turn your chair around and watch the fire.
That's the best part of the night.
Lenny and I will talk basketball. I think the turning point was 8-0.
Yeah.
But when you look at it, we're going to make our BMW turning point the third quarter barrage, mainly by Klay. They went off on a 17-2 run. I mean, they were already already up 16 at 61-45, but Clay goes nuts. He just starts making long threes.
That is a tough
and
shot.
He made one from 26, one from 29, one from 28. He made one from 31, and they go off on a 17-2 run. And, I mean, 16 was good enough lead. They wound up blowing it open by 31 at that point.
That is an incredible run they went on.
This
This is the one right here. He's moving without the ball, pushes his man back in there. Beautiful back screen from Draymond. This is the kind of execution they had all night. Of course, Draymond's got a flex on him. Bergeau's got the hair bouncing. Everything was working tonight. And then this was the one. I was watching Livingston, but then Clay's like, I'm hot. Let me shoot that.
He's going to get hotter.
Yeah,
look at this one.
When he's dribbling into threes, you know he's feeling good. And that was from deep right there. That was Steph Curry-esque. He's like, my boy, I got you. We're sitting out. Let me hit these threes for you. On to the next one.
You know, but you mentioned St. Louis. The Houston Rockets, they have their deficiencies on defense, both individually and as a team they break down, but they can score.
Yeah.
They score 106 points a game. They had 81. The game's over, right? We're not going to the fourth quarter. They're done. They shot 28% in the first half, St. 32% for the game. They were 6 for 33 from 3. You're all right, St. Harden's the only guy that can score. Otherwise, they're lucky they got 81 tonight. The Warrior defense was suffocating.
You know, shot contestment, contain the dribbler. Look at the white shirts there. Get you out in transition. The fireworks are blaring. I wish everybody in the Bay Area could be here. This is unbelievable.
Oh, this is great. Their defense was great in their offense the whole night. They had active hands. We got active fireworks in the background.
Let the Rockets red glare. And the Rockets are on vacation.
The Rockets are glare.
All right, we're having fun here. Sean Livingston.
Oh,
boy, it's just the poise of his game.
Beautiful.
The stat line tonight. Everything he does, the ability to switch. We have big to big in the backcourt at 6'7". St. They miss Steph, obviously. They have a whole different level. But could Sean Livingston be making Steph's injury any more palatable than he is? Right now, he is playing beautiful basketball.
You know, we talked about defense, and we talked about Sean and Andre, and Sean is an amazing player. Now, you can look at him down in the paint. He finishes there, but we watched him. Watch this. He sees the mismatch right away. Watch out. That foot is in the yellow. That means he's going up, and he just has a knack to get free. I just really love the way he plays the game. Look at him right here directing traffic. That's your point guard. They split off the post and get him action right there. Now he sees mismatch again with Terry. He can go right up and over him. But Kalena didn't get in the paint on that one. Let's see if he does it this time.
He's in the paint there.
He splits Montejunas and Harden. They're still looking at each other.
He's so at peace with his game. He can always get a shot he feels comfortable with. Such a smart player. Obviously, he can expose smaller guards like he did the whole night. He's played so well as a starter this whole series, and he's been so efficient. And if you're Steve Kerr, that's all you can ask for.
He's one of the most consistent players. He does not make bad plays. He does not make mistakes, hardly ever. In each of the 3 games that he started for Steph, he scored exactly 16 points in every game. And tonight he missed only 1 shot. Look at this crowd, They're getting bigger and bigger.
Look at the big faces.
They won 73 in the regular season. He was the coach of the year. They've won the first round in 5, 1 round down, 3 more to go, 4 wins down in the playoffs, and 12 to go. The countdown will begin, and they won this series essentially without the best player in the NBA. Incredible. Basket and all right now. You're all living in a golden state.
I like it.
Warriors.
All right, this series is over. The Warriors won game 1, 104-78. Steph only played essentially a half. They won game 2 without Steph, 115-106. Barely lost game 3, 97-96 on the Harden shot with 2.7 to go. Won decidedly Sunday in game 4, tied at 56 and wound up 121-94. Steph didn't play in the second half of the night. They win it 114-81. They scored about their average, and they held the Rockets to 81 points. Welcome back. We're going to hear Steve Kerr. We're going to get inside the Warrior locker room and the post-game interviews. You'll hear it all on Honda Warriors Post-Game Live. Greg Papa, Gary St. Jean, Kelena Azubuike. The Warriors defense, Kelena, when they get stops, steals, blocks, and get in the open floor, they are just lethal. You're going to break it down tonight with Buki's big time bifocals. Buki.
Defense leading the offense. That's what it was all night. This is kind of a microcosm of the Warriors night. The huge block from Draymond Green. Such a beautiful defensive play. He's going to get it right back, and of course sucks the defense in. Brandon Rush is open in the corner. Of course, Draymond Green is going to make the right decision there. Look at his defense here. His recovery skills. Beasley looked like he had a step right there. Draymond Green says, no, sir. And then James Harden's going to get in the middle right here. Active hands from the Warriors. Knocks the ball loose. Andre Iguodala so good in the open court. Beautiful drop off to Harrison Barnes. It doesn't get any prettier than that, Saint.
He sees him.
Look at this pass.
Little drop.
That's gorgeous.
It's unbelievable. And that's what the Warriors' whole night was. Their defense leading the offense. Beautiful plays. Beautiful basketball. That is how you close a team out in the playoffs, Saint.
When Iguodala's on the break and he's in the middle of the floor, we saw it on Sunday, where he looked right corner, left corner, no, drop it. Just drop it for a layup or a dunk. He hit Harrison Barnes so beautifully. This team is so well coached. Let's go inside, hear from the NBA Coach of the Year, Steve Kerr.
Was this game maybe just wrapped up in that start? It seemed like that start just kind of jet fueled you guys. Was that kind of the tone of the game right there?
Yeah, I mean, 37-20 at the end of the quarter. That got us off to the start we needed, got the crowd into it, and we just played a solid game. I mean, 10 turnovers, 30 assists and 10 turnovers. That's a phenomenal stat line. And we did the best we could on Harden. He's impossible to guard. But, he had 35, but we took care of the three-point line and didn't let anybody else get going. So it was a great effort.
Steve, a convincing win tonight, a convincing win in the series. What does this do for the mood just 2 or 3 days after you guys got hit with the Steph Curry news?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good. Obviously, going into the next series, which will be more difficult,